to is, what are the details or the requirement needed for you to have a Gambian passport?
Yeah, thank you very much, presenter. Basically, before going further, I will take this opportunity to register my appreciation to the Gambia Police Force and then the Immigration Department for coming up with this initiative to sensitize people about this process of passport applications. So it is important for Gambians to know what exactly do they need to acquire Gambian passport. So the requirements, if you buy the form, at the back of the form, basically all the requirements that you need for Gambian passport are clearly spelled out in at the back of the form. But notwithstanding, I'll just make a brief rundown of all those requirements. If you are a Gambian citizen by birth, you need a birth certificate plus a national ID if you are over 18. Okay. If you are 18 and above, you need a birth certificate and an ID. Okay. Or if you are an applicant who is below 18, you need a birth certificate plus your parents' supporting document. Okay. Yes. So these are the applications. On the cases of renewal, you need a copy of the old passport to attach on the form.
Okay. So where can one get a form?
Yeah, the form for the biometric passport, you get it at the bank, EcoBank. Okay. You effect the payment at the EcoBank, and the fee is $3,060. The passport is $3,000, and the form is $60. From the bank, you proceed to the JPs. Okay. The JPs will help you complete the form. After completing the form, you'll proceed to immigration for submission. Okay.
Let me just give chance to my co-host. I think he has a question to ask.
Thank you very much, Asadi Elizabeth. Chief Superintendent Umar Fofana, thank you very much for that clarification. Well, I will come to ASI Masileno, Korea. Sir, please, can you tell us, you are representing or deputizing the Assistant Commissioner of MRP, nearly said MRI, MRP, and that is the machine readable passport. Yeah, can you please tell us about what is the machine readable passport? What do you mean by that?
Thank you very much for having me again, once again. Like my boss had alluded first, the Gambian passport, I want to say it's almost the same thing. The difference between the MRP passport and the machine readable passport is, like the name implies, the biometric passport is biometric, whilst the MRP passport is also a machine readable passport, but it's not biometric. So currently the Gambia government is operating two different passports because we cannot have units or offices around the world where Gambians outside can be able to register for passports. So in order to ease their mobility or movement outside the Gambia, the machine readable passport is still in use. So basically the machine readable passport is for Gambians living outside the Gambia who want passport. So the process is a little bit different from the biometric passport, because for the biometric passport, you have to be present. But for the machine readable passport, you can even be outside and then the passport can be made in your absence. So basically, if you're outside the Gambia and you want a passport, the procedures are the same. You need to have a birth certificate if you're a Gambian by birth. And you also have to get an ID card if you are 18 and above. If you are less than 18, then you also need to get your parents supporting document, that is their ID cards, to ascertain your Gambian citizenship. So if you are applying for the first time, normally you have to undergo an interview. And this interview, normally we invite your parents or one of your relatives to come and do an interview on your behalf. Subsequently, a video call also will be done to the applicant who is outside the Gambia, to ascertain if the person that is applying for the passport is actually the person being interviewed. So basically, those are the little differences that are there between the biometric passport and the machine readable passports.
Okay, in some circumstance, you do ask for the residential permit, like if the guy is not in the Gambia. So is there any need for you guys to ask for the resident permit for the guys to, like example, to send a copy of a residential permit for him or her to have a Gambian passport?
Certainly, you are very right, Elizabeth. You need a residential permit to prove that the person is not residing in the Gambia. Like I said, the MRP passport is for Gambians living outside the Gambia. So it's going to be insignificant if you are in the Gambia and you decide to come for the MRP passport. So in order for us to establish whether you are in the Gambia or not, we need to see a residential permit to show that you are not in the Gambia. So basically, we need that.
To you, OC Fufana, my question is, like, for instance, I have a passport and my passport got lost or like it got expired. Yeah, for instance, for me to have the same serial number that was in my first passport, if I have to renew again the passport, you do see that you will go back, start from the normal procedures by going to the bank to pay, which is a matter of must that you need to go to the bank and pay. But for us to have the same serial number from our various passport, which is expired or even got missing, is a problem. Can you please clarify that doubt for us, please?
Thank you very much. Passport applications are a little bit different with other documents applications, because passport, the booklet comes with its own number. Every booklet is having its own number.
Okay.
So if one booklet is expired or lost, so meaning if it is going to be replaced or renewed, the other book that is going to be given to you is going to be having a different number. So it cannot have the same number. So the moment you're changing, your details will remain the same, but the booklet's number will change. But the information on the passport will remain. That is your biodata. So which will remain. So buying the form from the bank, coming forward to immigration. So the process sometimes it is people do question, why do I have a passport already and I'm following the same procedure again? So in this situation, the biometric is designed in such a way that anytime, be it renewal or be it fresh applicant, anytime you're getting the passport, we have to take your fresh biometric features. So taking those biometric features will require you to be present anytime we're doing the process of your passport, be it renewal or fresh application.
Okay, I think my co-hosts have a question to ask.
Yes, I will go to Corporal Suteba.
Okay.
Corporal, you are representing the PRO's office, and one of the duties of the PRO office is to enlighten, like community enlightenment on issues or the responsibilities of your department. And what are you doing in clearing doubts? What is the PR department doing in clearing the doubts of the people with regards to the acquiring passports or whatsoever that need to be done before one can get a passport?
Thank you very much, Mr. Ba.
So, Mr.
So, thank you very much. We at the Gambia Immigration Department PR unit, our doors are always open for people to come in if they have doubts or concerns or any questions to ask. And it is very much important to know that because of the service we are rendering to the people, Director General Ibrahim Abu deemed it fit to create from the PR office a unit called the Sensitization Unit. That is the community engagement unit where I belong to. The reason of that is to make sure that first-hand information is given out to the populace in order to address some of their issues or some of their concerns that are hindering them. That is why that unit is being created out of the PR's office. And we are almost, in fact, always open to people for questioning, for dialogue, for resolutions. Our doors are always open. Thank you.
Do you have an emergency number or a line that people can always call in to ask questions with regards to the services that you are rendering to the Gambian people?
To be honest, for emergency numbers, we are yet to have one. but they are working on it. But our lines are, we all have our lines there. Being it the PRO himself, his line is always available. The deputy PRO, his line is always available. The head of the community engagement unit, that is Superintendent Musa Fati, his line is available, like my own humble self, and any other person within that office. Our lines are always available for anybody who wants to ask questions or whatsoever.
The PR office is a very important office, as any other office in the immigration department. How often do you communicate to the people? Do you engage in community outreach?
Yes, Mr. So, thank you very much for that question. In fact, I can say it's on a daily basis. It's either we are at the radio here or we are at the office with people. We are always communicating to the people because they need to know what their doubts are to be clear. They need to know what the immigration department have to offer for them, or what they can do for the immigration department, because it's reciprocal. It's give and take. They need us, we need them. It's because of them we are there. And it's because of us being there, this is why they are also coming there, in order to ask questions, in order for their doubts to be clear. Thank you.
Immigration demo. That is it.
Okay. Abarka bake sina murunang kom kuma kangol men nyini kata jang na bos fulol la jang nga afoni bandika kangol la domandi pour mol sa faham.
Yeah, we will come to that because like it's just a 1 hour program, and like I said earlier on, we don't have time, like time is against us, and we are discussing about passport, which you know that is a concern to many, especially I for one, because right now as I'm talking, my passport is already expired. So I think I will take this opportunity to ask much question that I can. I like before starting the program, I was like 1 hour set up for because of like what I have to, what the question that I have for him are too much. So let's go to you, ASP. Can someone who is not in town, being in abroad, can that guy apply a passport through online application for passport?
No, currently we don't have those services for online application.
Okay.
No, but notwithstanding, they can use the medium of the embassies or consulars available abroad in our various consulars and embassies to apply through the embassies. Or better still, they can instruct somebody to apply on their behalf. Currently, we do not have that online application process. But I think it's going to be something that is going to be noted and looked into.
Please do. Because me too, like when I go to abroad, I need to do this online business so that I'll apply my passport.
Yeah, let me just take this opportunity to inform you that the Ministry of Digital Economy, in collaboration with the Ministry of Interior and Immigration, they are working on something to roll out this online application.
Okay.
So I know within a short period of time something will be done about it. Thank you.
Thank you. To you, Osi Fofana, we've been seeing like the past 1 year or the past month. Like for instance, if you apply for a passport, within 2 days, like you will get your passport. But nowadays, we've seen like if you apply for passport, they will ask you to come for interview today. They will ask you next week, come and do the fingerprinting or interview or to take a picture of you. Then they'll ask you after 3 months, come and take your passport. I'm just suggesting because like there is a duration for that. Before, if you go and apply for passport, they will do everything, both the interview, both the fingerprint, everything that you need to do. Then they will give you like less than 5 days for you to get your passport. Now it's very hard. Like we do see people gathering outside over there to get their passport. Even some of them used to complain. Like man, for 1 week, munuma am suma passport, domi Gambian la. As we all know, everyone is a domi Gambian la, but I munuma am passport. Can you please clarify that doubt that we have when it comes to passport, especially Monday? Me sometimes I used to think that you have a naming ceremony there. You know me, I like Benachip. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much. I know so many Gambians might find it very difficult with the processes. But the rest assured that the processes are going accordingly. Because passport at the biometric passport office, minimum is 1 week, maximum 2 weeks. You should be able to get your passport. If there is no order issue with your passport, because there are possibilities that after doing everything, there could be some problems identified in the system, so which will require for the applicant to come back and make sure those problems are resolved before the passport is printed. But in most cases, we have a lot of challenges, and these challenges are most of them are caused by applicants themselves, because we provide columns on the form, and those columns are there for applicants to put their contact numbers. So these contact numbers, those are the means that we can rely on to contact the applicants to come back to make sure they resolve the problems they have before the time stipulated for them to come and pick their passport. But in most cases, we will call them, we'll keep calling them. Some of them you call, the telephone will be ringing, nobody will pick. Some of them you call, the telephone will ring, if somebody picks, I'm asking for Madam Jaju, the person will tell you, I don't know Madam Jaju. Sometimes you call, it will not even ring. So in those type of situations, we will not have any other choice but to leave the form there until you come. If you come to pick your passport, we give you your problems. 99% of those applicants coming, finding it difficult, going back and forth, these are the situations. And we kept telling them, every morning before we start operation, we have this briefing with the applicants. We tell them, please make sure give us contact numbers that we can contact you during the process of your passport. Because there could be a possible that problems can be identified during the process of printing or processing it. The problems can be identified when you have already left the office. The only mean we can try to contact you is through those telephone numbers. But we're having a big time problem to reach the applicants when they leave the office. And in most cases, those ones is inevitable. We have to leave the form there until the applicant comes, because if we try to contact, we cannot get you. We will not have any other choice but to leave the forms there and wait for you.
I think that answers my next question. That was what I wanted to ask on how applicants can track the status of their passports once it is being submitted.
Okay, let me give you another, because if you go at the biometric passport office, there is a billboard at the gate. So it is labeled biometric passport. So we have contact numbers, and those contact numbers are active 24/7. Anytime you need any information about biometric, anything about your passport, if you call those numbers, somebody will answer. Even at midnight, if you call anybody, that person will pick your call, and then the person will give you the information you need about the biometric passport process.
That's fine. What are the fees involved in obtaining a Gambian passport?
Gambian passport, basically, they are both of them are 3,000. The MRP and the biometric, they are both 3,000. Maybe we have a little different on the forms. The biometric passport, the form is $60, and this one, the form is $100. That's different.
Okay, and within these two passports that you are naming, that is the MRP and the biometric passports, are there restrictions or whatsoever that the one passport can do and the other one cannot do, or you can travel with this and with to certain country so and so, and this one you cannot, or you can use this for? Are there any restrictions or anything?
They are both they are both Gambian passports, and they are all serving the same purpose.
Okay.
They are all serving the same purpose. As my colleague here rightly said, the only difference is this one is biometric and that other one is non-biometric.
Okay.
So this is the only difference. But otherwise, all of them can serve the same purpose. You can travel with it worldwide, no problem.
That's fine.
That's good. Thanks so much for that clarification. And my next question is, like, we do have people saying that this guy is not a Gambian, but he's holding our Gambian passport. Is that allegation true? Because they used to say that he's from so and so, and he's so and so and so, but he's having our Gambian passport. That the immigration officers are the ones selling our passport out. Is that true or not?
Yes, thank you very much. I think every citizen, irrespective of where you come from or who you are free to talk about issues and the way you think about it, and we do not have a problem about that. But in actual fact, if you come to biometric, if you come to Gambia Immigration Department, any document we issuing, there are procedures, and those procedures are followed to make sure that to make sure that the procedures are exhausted before the passport or any document is given. So before you talk about citizenship, you should know what citizens what does the Citizenship Act says about citizenship. So from because a lot of people might be holding this our Gambian document. You, by seeing them, you can just say they are not Gambian, they are non-Gambians, when in actual fact they are Gambians, because some of them acquire Gambian citizenship by birth, some of them by registration, some of them by naturalization. You can know me today as a non-Gambian. Tomorrow I got naturalized. So if I got naturalized, there are documents I'm entitled to.
And if the person meets the requirements,
yes,
you cannot
okay.
deny
So if the person meets those requirements, and bring all the required documents, that will not stop the person from being interviewed. The person will be re-interviewed to ascertain that those informations are in order before we finally approve and then give the person the document he requests. So this is why it is important, before start labeling or pinpointing on people, saying that he's not a Gambian, he's not a Gambian. First of all, do your findings. How is he a Gambian? Because not only that you're supposed to be born in the Gambia to be a Gambian. You can be born out of the Gambia and still a Gambian. Okay? So if for instance, you have a wife, you have an American wife, you're residing in America with your wife, you have your kids. Your kids can obtain Gambian citizenship through you because you are a Gambian. So I mean, it does not simply mean that your kids have to stay in the Gambia to be Gambians. So this is very clear, and people should know about these things. It does not simply mean that you have to be born in the Gambia to be a Gambian. Some are born in the Gambia when they are not Gambians. Because if you want to be a Gambian and you are born here, there are procedures. So people are free to talk, but then we are sure that we are doing things right.
We cannot stop them from speculating.
Yes.
I think, Kobusute, what is your office doing in making sure that such doubts are erased from people's mind, or people are aware of such things? That yes, Mr. So and so can come from a particular country and come to the Gambia and become a Gambian.
Thank you, Mr. So. You see, I, for one, I believe in one thing. Before I will talk about Mr. So, I have to make sure that I know who Mr. So is. The problem we have in the Gambia today is people don't know much about citizenship. Many people don't know much about citizenship. And some of them don't care to know, but they can stand at the corner and speculate. For us at the Gambia Immigration Department, PRO unit, our doors are open, as I said. You understand? Anytime, whosoever wants to come there to acquire knowledge or ask questions or even bring up suggestions, you are free to come in. When you talk of citizen, like for example, saying somebody holding a passport and the person is being mooted not to be a Gambian. First of all, what people fail to understand, before the hosting of the Gambian flag, it was the Union Jack that was here before. That's the British flag. In the law, it is saying, those people who were existing in the Gambia before the hosting of the Gambia flag were called British protectorates, because they were protected by the British law. That was during the era of colonialism. You understand? So whosoever, no matter where you come from, what country, what color, or what creed, no matter where you come from, if you are present, if that day meets you in the Gambia, that 18 February 1965 meets you in the Gambia,
And you want to be.
you understand? Automatically you are a Gambian. So if you want to, it is not by force, but according to law, that's what they are categorizing you as a Gambian, because you witness the birth of that nation.
Okay.
It depends on you to say yes, I will accept, or no. So now, if my father came from another country and that day met him in the Gambia and he accepts to be a Gambian,
Okay.
who am I? I am automatically a Gambian because my father is a Gambian.
That's true. For the benefit of those who you know that they are watching live on our TikTok page, they have a question, like we have a lot of question that they are asking. someone is asking if one of your parents are Gambian and the other one is non-Gambian, can you able to have a passport?
Yeah. Do you want to come in?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's an automatic answer. The answer is the 1997 Constitution under the Citizenship Act has clearly stated that if one of your parents is a Gambian during the time of your birth, you are qualified to apply for Gambian citizenship.
Okay.
So it's an automatic yes if the person wants to become a Gambian.
Okay. They are listening, or I can say they are watching. Like you said, if one of your parents are Gambian, you have the right to have a passport, right? Okay. They have.
No, sorry. Getting a passport is not a right; it's a privilege. What's a right for Gambians is ID card. At the attainment of 18, you have the right to have an ID card.
I don't want to get into
But the privilege
ID card issue because some of the people are asking about ID card, and I think our next topic is about ID card. But right now we're discussing about passport, which is a main concern for people.
I was just giving comparisons between what's a right and what's a privilege. For passport, it's a privilege. Okay, it's not a right that every Gambian has to get a passport. So this is what I'll just give as a comparison.
Okay. Yes, Sute.
Yeah, well, what I wanted to say here is, for one to acquire a passport, you must have a birth certificate or an ID card first. Yes, you must get a birth certificate or an ID card and an ID card. You understand? Okay, for a passport, you can be a born and bona fide Gambian if you don't meet the requirements, because it is not a right, it's a privilege. For one to have a passport, it's not a right, it's a privilege. Even whereby you meet the requirement, but the issue of your found it like you are not somebody that is careful enough to handle our passport with care, you may end up losing your passport because it's a national document, it needs to be respected.
I think you want to add something.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I think I think the issue of passport being a right or being a distinct passport, every Gambian who need a passport and you meet the requirements, you can have it. But it's unlike the national ID. It's unlike the national ID because they serve the different purpose. For passport, this is why at the back page of the passport, if you check there is a note that says that this passport remains the property of the government of the Republic of the Gambia, and it may be withdrawn from you at any time. But there are things that can happen that will cause those withdrawals.
Can you give us examples of those things?
Okay. So, for instance, if one denounces his Gambian citizenship, for instance, you are a Gambian, so now you renounce your Gambian citizenship. You want to take another citizenship.
Okay.
So we will definitely revoke that passport from you. You have to surrender that passport for that document. Okay? We have to take it back. And there are some other criminal issues that might warrant the government to revoke the document from you. And it could be revoked for a period, or it could be revoked for permanently. But unlike the national ID, whatever happened, unless if you cease to be a Gambian, then we take back our document. But if you do not cease to be a Gambian, nobody have the powers to revoke that document from you if you are a Gambian. So this is the difference. So I think people should start knowing that there are a lot of Gambians who value the passport even more than the national ID. Which is to our own side, which is not the best. We expect every Gambian, if you have the age of 18 years and above, your first document you should acquire is a national ID, because that is what describes you, where you belong to, which country do you belong to. So these are situations that we come across sometimes. Thank you.
Let me just clear this doubt. People are asking about ID card. We are not talking about ID card for today. We are talking about our topic is passport. If you want to know anything about passport, Gambian passport, you can please ask question as much as you can. But our next episode is about ID card, whereby you like your question can be clarified by the commissioner or the OC of passport, please.
So if I may understand this, to get the passport, you have to get the ID card, national ID card. Okay, is it the only national ID card that guarantees you to get the passport, or there are other supporting documents that
you know, you have primary document and secondary documents. The primary documents are always documents at birth. That is the birth certificate. Okay, so the birth certificate will be supported by a secondary document. The secondary document is your national ID if you are 18 and above. But if you are less than 18, a minor, you will require your parent supporting document to support the birth certificate.
Okay, for instance, OC, if I thought like none of your parents are still alive, how can you get a passport?
Okay, there are instances where some applicants will come. Their parents are normal, and they do not have their documents to guarantee them to acquire Gambian citizenship. Okay, so now in those type of situations, the parents' relative, the father's relative or the mother's relative, that's the father's sister or the father's brother, the mother's sister or the mother's brother, one of them, that's the uncle or the auntie, one of them can come to guarantee the applicant. But that guarantee cannot be accepted if the applicant, if that guarantor did not appear for screening. That guarantor must appear for screening for the interviewing officers to ascertain that this particular guarantor is related to the parent of the applicant. So before they finally confirm and ask him to go and swear an affidavit, attach his national document to support his birth certificate.
Okay.
Alcalos attestation also are required where an applicant is unable to produce a birth certificate. A certificate signed by the alcalo or CFO of the district in which the applicant was born, proving Gambian birth, must be produced, because those two documents are serving almost the same purpose: alcalos attestation and then birth certificate.
What do the immigration department do in the where an applicant, like during the screening, it is known to the interview officers that this applicant fraudulently acquires these documents, that is the alcalos attestation or birth certificate, and what do you do?
In most cases, alcalos attestations, they put the alcalos name, the alcalos stamp, the alcalos information, those are the telephone numbers and addresses. Okay? Sometimes if we have doubt on any document, any alcalos attestation, there are telephone numbers. We call and confirm with the alcalo. If there is a need to meet the alcalo personally, we will definitely do that. Or we invite the alcalo to come and attest if there is a need. But in most cases, most of these alcalos attestation presented, most of them are authentic. Most of them.
Okay.
Okay, just to remind our listeners that you are listening to Poliso FM 95.7. It's your immigration hour that comes your way every Thursday from the hours of 11 o'clock to 12 o'clock. This guy is asking like for biometric passport, which is your side. Like for instance, you are not in the Gambia, you are not in at the country at the moment, and you want to renew your passport. How can one renew that passport?
Yeah, just as my colleague said, we reserved a document for the Gambians in the diaspora. The simple reason is biometric is not yet decentralized. Okay, biometric is still centralized. So until biometric is decentralized and we have it in our foreign embassies, I mean, we have to be going with the MRP to make sure the Gambians in the diaspora are taken care of. But if you have a biometric passport while in abroad, the biometric passport got expired, you can send it here, it will be renewed for you. But not renewed for biometric, but renewed for MRP. Until at a time you come back and get the biometric done, or if the system is installed at the embassies, then you can renew it at the embassies level. Because right now, as we speak, there are a lot of development about this embassy issues and to decentralize the biometric passport. So I know within a short period of time we'll hear the people in the diaspora will be definitely happy. Thank you.
For the benefit of others who might be there, ASI Korea, for the benefit of our listeners or somebody out there who may be sitting at home and thinking like, to acquire a Gambian passport, it will take you 3 months or 4 months. Can you please tell us how long does it take?
Because there is a similar question which says like it took you like 1 month before you have your passport, like the one that you are renewing, and you are paying the same amount for you to get the same passport. Yeah, maybe that guy is just joining. I think you can clarify.
Aside from what CSI just mentioned, like calling people that have also failed to input some of the informations on the submitted document. Okay, if one have met all those things, okay, now there is no need to call to come and clarify certain things. How long will it take for the passport to be processed and be given to the individual?
Thank you very much. I think that's a very important question. The passport duration, if you look at the back of the form, just like my boss had said, it is required that you give a 2 weeks duration period. Mm-hmm. But in application of documents, sometimes certain things can come into play. Sometimes it is not because the immigration do not want to process your passport, but sometimes unforeseen circumstances can come. And also sometimes the surgeon passport, sometimes it's like a wave. Sometimes you have a large number of applicants applying for the same time. Okay. And in order for us to adequately take care of these people, we need to take our time. It's a very delicate document that you're dealing with. So sometimes also unforeseen circumstances like electricity outrage and other things. Sometimes network issues also come into play because in order for you to pay for your passport, you need to get the network to connect, especially for the MRP passport, because it's a centralized paying system with the central bank. So sometimes when the networks are down, you struggle. But notwithstanding, the duration is 2 weeks. So sometimes, like I said, it's the surge of passport applicants. Sometimes it can have a delay, but on normal circumstances, it should be 2 weeks for the passport to be done.
And someone just sent a message. The guy said, why is it very difficult for you to have a passport? Maybe his question is not that wide, because he or she is supposed to tell us what difficulty did he or she mean to get a passport, because already superintendent have already clarified the doubts that they do face for you to come and renew your passport, because some of the, I think you can clarify that again.
Just to despite the fact that his question is not well detailed, but we will definitely give him something about what he said. Mm-hmm. Passport application to acquire a passport is never difficult. It's never difficult if you have all the requirements and you are qualified. So where we have problem is applicants who are coming without the requirements or without getting the qualification to acquire the passport. Of course, it will be difficult with you. If it is difficult with you, meaning you do not have the requirements, or you are not qualified to have the passport. So those are the two situations. If any applicants have all the requirements and come to immigration on time, on schedule, because there are a lot of applicants who comes to biometric on schedule. They will just pop into the office, want to be helped, when there are already applicants who are already scheduled for that particular day. So you expect us to leave those people and get your services done. So which is not fair. We have to make sure we learn this culture of, following procedures. Oh, yes. And these procedures are, buy your form from the bank, fill it, forward to immigration. If immigration gives you an appointment to come tomorrow or next week, follow that procedure and come the day you are scheduled to come. And if you come, you'll be taken care of. Yeah. But you just want to be treated today. You came today. You are treated today.
Yeah, you can.
My boss, thank you for coming with that point. And it's a very common Gambian attitude to wait until the very last minute. Mm-hmm. Gambians like to have a journey business, and they will not go apply for passports until when they have that urge to submit a passport for interview at the embassy, or they need passport today. So most of the time, these are the problems that they face. So if you have this last minute issue, you want the immigration to take care of your problem today. If it fails, you will have to blame. You want to blame the immigration when you should blame yourself. So if you think you need a passport, the best thing is to apply it on time, so that you can follow the due process and get your passport in before emergencies will strike. So if you wait until when the last minute comes and then you want these matters to be resolved, that's why probably give you the reason to say it's difficult to have a Gambian passport. So I just wanted to add to what my boss said.
Thank you.
Listeners out there, you all heard it from Chief Superintendent Umar Fofana and ASI Marcelino Correa. If you don't want to face difficulties in getting your passports, make sure that you follow due process and do it on time.
Okay, someone is asking whether his brother can pick his passport on his behalf.
Yeah,
He already did everything just to pick the passport.
For MRP passport or?
But he did not
okay.
clarify that one.
Let's just answer both of them.
Okay.
For MRP, for MRP, it is possible. If it is possible, if you go to MRP, they will tell you the procedures that you can do to pick the passport for your brother or your relatives when he's not here. But for biometric, every applicant who applied for passport must pick the passport himself. Because in picking the passport, you have to take fingerprint, and it will be delivered in the system.
Okay.
It will show in the system that this passport is printed and delivered. If you manually deliver the biometric passport, so meaning it is communicating that this applicant have applied for the passport is printed, but the passport is still not delivered, because that's what the system is going to show. But there are instances where the manual delivery can be done. That those are instances where we have some applicants who are on sick bed. They cannot come over. Those ones we've catered for mobile enrollment for them. Those mobile enrollment, they can go and meet the applicant where he or she is. We get all the enrollment done. We'll prepare the passport and hand it over manually. But later, the electronic delivery will be done by the print room. Those are just special cases, and cases of some VVIPs who are very, very busy. They cannot attend. So we got those mobile kit and go and help them out. And some applicants who might apply for passport and they leave the country before the passport is ready. And they may not be able to come back and get the passport, and they need the passport over there. There are requirements that if that person is able to provide his air ticket and his boarding pass and a letter of authorization together with a copy of his national document, attach it. Then if he comes to the office, then we'll look at the matter critically. If definitely it is genuine, we will definitely hand the passport over manually and then later do the electronic delivery inside the system.
Listeners out there, you are reminded that you are listening to Poliso FM 95.7, and this is the Immigration Hour. And here with us, we have Chief Superintendent Umar Fofana from the Biometric Operations Officer. And we have ASI Marcelino Correa, Admin Officer at the MRP, that is the Machine Readable Passport. And we have Kokul Suteba also from the Office of the PRO. These gentlemen are they are smart.
Yeah, of course,
they are smart. I think people out there are having the answers to their questions. Once again, ASI Korea, are there any recent updates or changes to passport application processes that our listeners need to know?
Well, like I said, there are no much changes with the application process. The applications process is the same. Sometimes you just have to add one or two administrative procedures to enhance the process of the application. For us at the MRP passport, the process, like you may know, it's a little bit different from the biometric passport. So, like I said earlier, Gambians who are living outside can apply for passports, either through the embassies or through their relatives or friends. So, if you get the money, you come and buy a form, fill the form, and then you pay at the cashier at the immigration headquarters. Then, after you get the receipt, then you can now submit your passport application. So if, after submitting, if it's a fresh applicant, like I said, you will have to undergo an interview. But so if it's a replacement, a copy of your old passport have to be there, and then it will be processed. So like there are no major changes with the application process.
Yeah.
Just to remind you that you are listening to Poliso FM here in Banjo, and also for the benefit of those that are following us on the Facebook live page and also our TikTok live page, which is the Gambia Police Force. It's your immigration hour that comes your way every Thursday from the hours of 11 o'clock to 12 o'clock. Like I said, time is not by our side, and we are talking about passport. Like for when it comes to immigration, I think we can spend the whole day in the studio discussing about immigration, because a lot are outside who that they are willing to know much about immigration, because there are a lot of allegations that are made when it comes to documentary. Like for instance, whereby people will say that this guy is not a Gambian. We see the comments here. The comments are too much, that this guy is not a Gambian, but he's holding our national documents, such as the ID card, such as the passport, and even our birth certificate. But I think it's not the fault of the immigration. Whatever you see, it has a beginning. It has where it started. Like OC just mentioned it right now. You have whereby you can naturalize to be a Gambian. I think before we just wrap up, you can clarify.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
Well, those allegations could be true, could be wrong as well, just like my boss had said. But it's not the right or the responsibility of immigration to determine who is a Gambian. Gambian citizenship is clearly stipulated. If you feel that somebody wrongly acquired our documents and you are so confident that the person is not a Gambian, you can take the matters to court and prove beyond reasonable doubt that this person is not a Gambian. Because the immigration offices use procedures. We have procedures to interview people and process our documents. If the applicant meets all the requirements and passes all the determined tests, I see no reason why the immigration will not be able to give out the necessary documents. Moreover, the process of document acquiring does not start with immigration. It starts with other stakeholders. You have the birth certificate, you have the Alcalo and CFOs and all others. So if you come to the immigration and meet all the requirements, we are not magicians to know who was born outside or somewhere. Yeah. So if anybody that thinks somebody is acquiring a Gambian citizen or got our document without following the due process, you are free to apply use the courts and remedy your situation. I think that will help to adjudicate this problem.
Yeah, and I think, can you please tell us the different forms that we have? We have the biometric one and the one, because I saw you with a form. Yes. Can you please show us that form?
I brought this form just to show the audience and listeners that this is the MRP passport form. But you will note that the differences between these forms probably might be the color. Only the color. But okay. Basically, all the information are the same. Okay. So these other ones, this one is for the MRP passport, but the biometric passport can be acquired at the EcoBank. So all the major details on this yellow paper here is the same as the one that you have with the pink one. Yes. Okay. So they're basically the same. So if you have this form anytime and you want to know some of the basic requirements for you to have a passport, the instructions are clearly stipulated behind. They are 1 to 8, and they are very, very important for people to understand and know them, so that they can be able to be adequately ready for the passport application.
Someone is saying, let's increase the time next time. Because I think the 1 hour is very short.
I think, can we have it in the local language for just a minute or so?
Yeah. Time is just by our side. And this one is here, President OC Fofana, saying that keep it up. What are you going to keep up?
I don't know.
Good work.
Huh? With good work. And that's what he mentioned. What are you going to keep up?
Well, Sergeant Elizabeth, Uzi Fofana here is a gem that we intend to keep for a very long time. He's very resourceful and always ready to work. So most of us are looking up to him as role model. So if somebody is praising him, I think the person is spot on. It's very worthy to praise somebody that is working hard.
Thank you.
That's true. Maybe he's working hard. Then congratulations, keep it up, as he said.
Also, once again, before we leave this studio, because I know very soon my boss will say the time.
Time is elapsed.
What are the eligibility criteria for one to obtain a Gambian passport?
Eligibility, yes. Basically,
Can you please come?
basically passport. Passport. Anybody can have a passport. You just need to be a Gambian citizen to have a passport. But then there are. I can see in your questionnaire you have something like the different type of passports.
Yeah.
You have the ordinary passport, the diplomatic passport, and the service passport. These have different purpose. Okay, because there are category of people that have the diplomatic passport, and there are category of people that have the service passport. Okay. And then for the ordinary passport is across the board.
That makes it 3.
Yeah, that makes it 3.
3 types.
Okay, 3 type of passport. So for the diplomatic and service, that is not in our domain, immigration. It's in the domain of foreign affairs in collaboration with the Office of the President. So that's where the issuance is done, the approval, everything is done at the foreign affairs level. So we just received the application, the approval, together with the applicant. We do the enrollment. We do the enrollment and the printing. Okay, it's only the printing we do, but to decide who should get it and who should not get it is not the role of immigration. Immigration is there just to help to print the document, but the decision of who should get and who should not comes from that level. Yeah, if you are qualified, you have your birth certificate, you have your national ID as an applicant over 18, or if you are a minor, you have your ID card and your parent supporting document, and you attend the interview, you pass the interview, everything is okay, then you are eligible to have the passport. We do not have a problem about it. Even a baby who is born today can have a passport. Before, we include babies on their mother's passport or on their mother's passport. We include them there, but now that is a thing of the past. Every Gambian who is requiring a passport needs a separate passport. Thank you.
That's very good.
That's very good. Like I said, time is not by our side, and it's almost after 12. For the benefit of those who are still asking about the ID card, because I think ID card too is an issue.
What are they asking about ID card?
When are they getting their ID card?
That's
Why are you not asking? Why are you not issuing ID card? They have been paid since April. Still now they cannot get their ID card. I think we are having these guys.
Yeah, that is next Thursday.
Yeah,
That topic
next
is coming
Thursday,
next
yeah.
Thursday.
Yeah, next Thursday.
And we are
if
coming
they
with the
come,
experts too.
They will clarify everything about national ID.
Like how the ID card, the passport.
Let them not be.
Yeah, right now we are discussing about passport, and still now the questions are still going, but we did not have time to answer all those questions. I think we need to talk to the IG or talk to the PRO so that they can increase the time. Like they are complaining that 1 hour is very short.
Maybe we'll have another scheduled date.
Or not passport.
Yeah.
No problem.
Yes. Or
No
better
problem.
still, Sergeant Elizabeth, better still, they can reach out to the PRO's office.
Yeah.
Yes, Couple Suteba and his team. Yes.
Because people are complaining that the 1 hour is very short. Yeah.
So that is it.
Yeah, I think now we are going to wrap up from here because, like I said, we don't have time. Time is not by our side. But before going, what is your advice for people that are listening and people that are watching us in terms of passport? The difficulty, as they say, the difficulty that they used to face there to get a passport. We'll be telling them go today, go tomorrow. And there's this guy too who asked a question when we started. He said that he's living in Basse. So when he came here to renew his passport, all the way from Basse to Banjul, and they asked him go back, come here, go today, come tomorrow. Why not?
I think that
why
question
not?
is
Yeah.
already answered.
No, why not they have a passport unit in Basel or Farafenni?
Yeah, I spoke about the decentralization.
Yeah.
This is decentralization. I think maybe very soon it will be rolled out. Yeah, because the authorities are working hard on that to make sure the decentralization process, because the decentralization will be both locally and internationally.
Okay.
Because we'll have our foreign embassies. The system will be installed there, and then some areas within the country, because on passport is an international travel document.
Sure.
If we cannot decentralize the production center, but we can decentralize the issuing center.
Okay.
The issuing center and the production center will be centralized.
Okay.
That is where they do the printing and other stuff. But just to take the opportunity to wrap up, I will take this opportunity to advise Gambians. My advice is going to be, if any country succeeds in security, that is because its citizens are also proactive to help security. We are not superhuman to know everybody.
Sure.
We are just doing something to make sure something is done. So if you know anybody who acquires documents through false declaration, let us know where we can step in and solve that problem. We can do it.
Sure.
And also, I will take this opportunity to advise all Gambians to respect national documents. National documents are very, very important. More especially elderly people who have siblings. Your siblings' nationality is determined by your nationality. So meaning you getting documents, keep them for your city, for your children is important. So please. So at any issuing center we come to for documentation, please let's respect procedures. Procedures are laid down and it need to be respected, so that everybody will go free and everything will be okay, inshallah.
For that one, I know I will give an award to my mom, because my mom is still having my nursing school documents, like nursing school paper, where I started writing 1, 2, 3. So I will give her a gift, yeah, or I'll wear a gift today and give it to her.
And my mom too.
Like seriously? Okay, thank you so much.
If that is the case, many moms will have presents. Yes, because for me also, my mom is still having my first birth certificate.
Wow, mashallah. Yeah, some people are there. They respect like our document. Yeah, they respect document, because there was a day when she opened and said, "Oh, I'm going to janga binda mungini." It's very important sometimes. ASP, what's your last advice?
I wish this is not my last advice on that. Anyways,
okay, for today.
For today's program, I just want to reiterate what my boss said. I also want to advise Gambians to avoid the last-minute syndrome, where they must have to get the passport done before their business is done or spoiled. If you want to apply for this document, please do it at the appropriate time, so that you avoid the inconveniences. Because, like you all know, sometimes constraints come beyond our control, and if you do not do it at the right time, we will be constrained. And in order to avoid all those disturbances, let us apply at the right time. Sometimes you see, if the passport is less than 6 months to expire, it's advised that you apply for a new passport. That way we can be able to avoid the inconveniences that are caused. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Well, also, the family confirm that I'm going to do that, because my small was going to expire next month. They are here 6 months. My small was going to expire next month.
Dooru mala dala sa de. Dama doon joxe advice rek. So si gisee sa bopp nag nga xam ne.
Gis naa ko.
Donc si gis sa bopp.
Thank you so much.
Du loolu moo taxoon ma wax ko.
Waaw baax na jërëjëf. Thank you so much. Sute.
Thank you very much, Elizabeth. It's once again a pleasure to be here. My two professionals have spoken well, and I'm very much grateful.
There's only one.
This is something that people have to take into account.
So,
Gambians, especially my fellow Jolas, documentation is their problem. You talk, they will tell you, yeah, you understand? Even whereby this is the problem we have, they will come and start telling you. You ask when he was a child, but he say, hey, you see, they cannot even tell. So let people try to get documents. It's very important. Because the reason why, especially the ID card, the reason why it is called an identification card, it identifying you without you talking. Because in a human life, it comes to a time whereby you can't talk. You will be in critical condition that you cannot communicate to people. But because of that ID, people will know how to get to your relatives, how to get to your loved ones. So without which, it's always a problem. This is why when you go to the death house today, I'm sorry, don't run, because you are afraid of death. When you go to the death house today, you see so many dead bodies there. They don't know who their families are. So it's giving us a problem anyhow. You understand? And
thank God that I senior you. I'm just sick in my head.
yes,
You have 2 chai seats after the show. Just go ahead.
no problem. No problem.
Well, he's a fool, he's safe.
Huh?
He's a fool, he's safe.
She's my niece.
No problem.
Thank you,
Okay.
Elizabeth.
Okay, thank you so much for having me today. It was a great a panel. Left to be alone, like we can discuss for 3 hours. And for those that are watching, but like we all know, it's a radio, and radio is time. But nonetheless, we will have you again in next few weeks, inshallah. My co-host.
I solicited for those 3 hours to be given, but you are not supportive.
Thank you.
Are you
very
guys
much.
going to pay me?
Thank you very much, Salim Elizabeth. Once again,
Yes,
thank
sir.
you, Chief Superintendent Fofana, SI Korea, and Kopulba for being with us here. It has been an interesting program. And like my boss said, we hope to see you in our subsequent programs. And listeners, thank you very much for logging into the Polisor FM 95.7. This is what we have for you today. And back to you, Salim Elizabeth.
Yeah, thank you so much. Like I said, for those that are asking about how to call it ID card, next week Thursday, inshallah, by the hours of 11 to 12, we will have the commissioner or the OC or a staff from ID card department who will come and clarify your doubt, like we already did. I can fully remember the first day of our program. They were like passport. I think Sute, you were here, but thank God that we have the main man from passport, who is not other than what OC Fofana, and people are saying congratulations, well done. The comments are like, he's a great man, he's a cool man, he's a kind guy, and I see that in you. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hope to see you next time,
Thank you very
inshallah.
much. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
It was a good one. Thank you.